Well, hey, my name is Jeff, and this last week I was actually spending some time thinking about why I came here to Journey's Crossing. You see, I had come across a passage in the Bible as I was preparing for our kids' church experience, preparing to put that on video, and it really made me remember why I traveled out here to Maryland to be a part of Journey's Crossing. You see, about 3 years ago, I was living in Minnesota, and I was looking for a new church to be a part of and to be a children's pastor at. And I was a children's pastor at a church out there. Just before that, I'd been a children's pastor at a church in Indiana. But there was a problem. It wasn't that the people at these churches were bad people. It wasn't that they didn't love Jesus. But we just weren't quite a fit. And maybe you've experienced that in your own workplace. Maybe there's someone who works at your company who just isn't a fit with everybody else. Or maybe sometimes you've been that person. You worked for a company and the company wasn't bad, but you're just not quite gelling with what the company stands for and how they do business. Well, that was really kind of my experience at these previous couple of churches. They weren't bad people. It wasn't that they didn't love Jesus, but we didn't quite see eye to eye on what the church was all about, and I was looking for a place that was a good fit for me. So let me share this passage with you, and I can share with you why I think this has been a great fit here at Journey's Crossing. I'm so happy to be here. So I'm in Matthew, one of the four guys who wrote down the story of Jesus in the New Testament of our Bibles. And in chapter 9, Matthew tells a story of himself. See, Matthew was a tax collector. It meant people did not like him at all. Think about what we think about the IRS today. Multiply that by about 1 million. That's what people felt about Matthew. But Jesus had asked Matthew to be one of his followers, one of his 12 disciples, one of his closest followers and friends. And so Matthew accepted and threw a huge party. And it says at this party there were other tax collectors and other disreputable sinners. That means bad people. I'm guessing prostitutes were there. I'm guessing all kinds of, people that others wouldn't really associate with were at this party. And the Pharisees, they were kind of the religious guys around, and they took notice and they asked Jesus' followers, "Why does your teacher eat with scum like this?" Pretty harsh words. And Jesus answers their question. He says, who needs a doctor, the healthy or the sick? Go figure out what this scripture or this Bible passage means. I'm after mercy, not religion. I'm here to invite outsiders, not coddle insiders. Love how Jesus answers that, because that's really how I view church. That last phrase that he said, I'm here to invite outsiders, not coddle insiders. Some of us, our story is that we've always felt like insiders. Our moms and dads went to church. We were at church every Sunday. We prayed to accept who Jesus was when we were 4 or 5, and we just never ever walked away from it. And those stories are beautiful. I love them. But it's not mine. And chances are it's not yours either. Most of us found Jesus somewhere else along the way of life. I mean, I grew up in a family that went to church every Sunday, Catholic church. I was there. I went to Mass. I was an altar boy, all that kind of stuff. But I never really believed it. I never found Jesus. And it wasn't until I got to college that someone shared Jesus with me and I was able to find him. But even then, it was a rocky few years. I wasn't really trying to follow him. And it wasn't until a little bit after my oldest daughter was born that I really started to follow Jesus or figure out how to follow Jesus. And it was then that I became one of these insiders that Jesus talks about. Probably a lot of you have stories kind of like that. You found Jesus somewhere later in life. But once you find him and start to follow him, you're an insider. Now, the good news is that Jesus does not say he doesn't care about you. He doesn't say, I don't care about insiders. I'm here to invite outsiders. He just says he's here not to coddle you. And when I hear that word coddle, I think of what I might do with a baby or maybe one of my kids when they're sick, and I'm going to make sure they're warm and cozy and fed and comfortable. And Jesus says that is not what I came for. I didn't come for my insiders to make sure that they're warm and cozy and comfortable and super well cared for. Jesus came to give his insiders a mission. He came to put us to work. And it's exactly what he tells the Pharisees here that his insiders are called to do. He says, I'm here to invite outsiders. The thing is when we're insiders, when we have found Jesus, when we start to figure out what it means to follow him, there's a whole bunch of stuff that Jesus gives us in our lives. We have hope in our lives. We have peace. We have joy. We have love, and so much more. And it's exactly what others need. It's exactly what our world needs. It's exactly what outsiders need, even if they can't put words to it, if they're not sure that that's even what they need. That's really why I came here to Journeys Crossing, because as I started to talk to Journeys Crossing people, to the staff and some of the key team members, that's exactly the heart that I heard. That as a church, we are here to invite outsiders, not coddle insiders. So that's why I'm here. I'm so happy that I'm here. Now, what does that mean for us in our social distancing world today? Well, in many ways, our job of inviting outsiders has become so much easier, or maybe more convenient is the right way to put it, because our interactions with people are limited to, in a lot of cases, digitally. Our friends, our coworkers, our family members, we're contacting them digitally. We're seeing them on social media a whole lot. So how can we invite them to become insiders? We can share. There is so much material out there that we can share. We can share our Sunday morning experiences. We can share our kids' Sunday morning experiences. We can share our podcast on Monday. We can share our daily devotionals from staff. We can share some of the kids' material that we're putting out all throughout the week, some of the application activities and preschool activities. We can share some of the songs that we're listening to. We can share, because we live in a world of people who are desperate for hope and peace and love and joy. And that's exactly what we have to share with them. So that's my encouraging thought for the day, is that we have this mission, this work to do, and in some ways it's more convenient or easier than ever to simply share the stuff that we see on social media, the stuff that we are consuming. So share your hope, peace, joy, and love this week. It's what Jesus wants you to do. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.